Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down, Tampa as Brady hooks up with Howard. Fournette running out of the gun. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 36, Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch there for Evans, good enough for a first down. A shotgun give to Fournette. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now this throw caught left side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Brady's throw there complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down and 4, Brady to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Evans likely to see a lot of targets, but he might be in for a battle. He's got to go against Richard Sherman, and that is certainly no picnic.
And for years, when I've watched Richard Sherman trying to get to the heart of what's made him such a great player on the corner, I come back to one thing. Takes very few false steps, and he gets that out of film study and understanding the receivers and the type of routes they can run against him.
Brady now to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now a give to Taylor. They find some. The ball is free. Taylor lost it. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to it. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. First and 10, Taylor now. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely. But that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here. And then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up first and goal.
Taylor. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. From the 2 now, second and goal. Here's Taylor again. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
So backed up to the 6 now. Third and goal. Throwing his Wentz. They'll roll him out right. They'll run the screen with Mack. Touchdown, Colts! Marlon Mack, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Takes it at the 7. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Well, I mean, Mike Evans has been an elite receiver for some time now. And part of that, Charles, certainly what he can do once the ball is in his hands. After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. Fournette, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Fournette again. They showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Brady now on 3rd and goal. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs have made this a 1-score game. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play-action pass, you see the end result, usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. This is caught by Hilton. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Brady. That's complete to Tyler Johnson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Still going. They can't stop him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Brady will swing this out to Fournette. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to it.
And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kenny Moore. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on it. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wentz looking deep for Hilton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Wentz. Looking for Campbell downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before half for Wentz. Buying time to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football.
On the return, it's Nyheim Hines. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On play action, Wentz looking deep for Hilton.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr.
And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. But pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now Brady. And he finds Howard complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. A handoff to Fournette. Bulldozes past him. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 29, Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. On the return is Hines. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
On the return is Hines.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Taylor's got the first down and more.
Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Julian Blackmon.
And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means...
And now off to the races, down the right side. The 30. 10. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Leonard Fournette.
97 yards. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Leonard Fournette, for a big back, he can cover a lot of ground, and he showed off the athleticism there as he broke off a big one.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you, and let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
On the return is Hines. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, come the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz
Rolling to his right. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Wentz. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Wentz now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10.
Now a play fake. Wentz. That ball caught by Campbell. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have broken our tie as they take the lead.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And they will take a 7-point lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Brady. Here's Fuller with a catch.
And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First down, Tampa Bay.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a give to Fournette. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
149 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Tyquan Lewis makes the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. Throw left side complete. That's Howard. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 17-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now Fournette. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Brady. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller.
And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Leonard Fournette,
his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Rolling to his left. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
On 1st down, Taylor. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 101
yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. Coming up on 2nd and 7.
Now Brady. He'll check this one off to Fournette. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Brady. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Brady to throw. And he's got it. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those in the ears, but right now it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback,
and he's across for the touchdown, and in the final minute that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead now stands at 13. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
He got 29 yards that time. On first down, Wentz looking deep for Hilton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bucs, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.